talk more about this whole Niger thing, because I don't think people realize just how quickly things are escalating and how important it is that we stand with Niger as opposed to anything else. I know you've probably seen all the news outlets already pinning this as a bad situation, or that it's going to bring chaos and all that stuff. Well, yeah, coup d'etats are never really simple, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But when it comes to Niger, not only are the military behind the person who committed the coup d'etat to remove the president that apparently most of the people in Niger don't want, the people, the citizens of Niger, mostly by majority, seem to support the coup d'etats. So if Niger's coup d'etat is let to run its course, it may yield some fruit, hopefully, if the military leader who led the coup d'etat pretty much does the right thing. And by that, I mean essentially, you know, hires the right people. I've talked about this in my previous video, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth in this as to what I think needs to happen in order for this to work out well, right? So, like I said, the military leader needs to hire, you know, actual politicians, actual, you know, finance ministers, actual agriculture ministers, like people who know how to run a country. He needs to hire those people. He cannot end up like another, you know, coup d'etat West African leader who ends up, you know, becoming a tyrant after successfully acquiring the country and trying to help the people, but it ends up becoming sour throughout the end. You know the story, right? However, right, this is the first time, right? West Africa has had a lot of coup d'etats. Like, this is nothing new, right? Even some Europeans have had coup d'etats attempt. Like, you know, Ukraine had one in 2014, and you know, there was one attempt recently by a group led by Wagner, you know, who tried to take over the Russian government. These things happen. But what makes it more interesting is that this is the first time where it actually directly impacts the neo-colonialist power of France, right? And the military leader who has taken over the country has declared that he will stop supplying uranium and gold to France. And we see how France is responding. France is saying they will take necessary measures to protect France's interest, which necessarily means that, well, it means necessarily that they will use military force if necessary, which means possible airstrikes, possible invasion to maintain structure. Now, I also talked about how France is communicating with the ECOWAS, which is a West African kind of confederation of some kind, and they're trying to encourage Nigeria to invade Niger in order to re-establish the president that was allegedly elected. I mean, here's the thing, right? If you have so many people in the streets of Niger supporting the guy who took over the country and literally said, we've had enough of France killing our people, stealing our resources, and making our countries poor to the point where we're importing you guys billions of dollars, billions of euros, and in return, we're barely even scratching millions. That is an unfair deal, and the people of Niger have had enough of it. Now, things have escalated quite drastically when you have now Germany saying that they will support France in their endeavor to protect their interests, which means we may also have German military interference with what's going on with, Niger. Then you also have, Mali and Burkina Faso saying that they will declare war on anybody who they will declare war on any country that tries to intervene with Niger's current progress. Now you have Algeria also saying that they will not allow any outside interference in what's going on with Niger, and I don't know if they have also said that they will declare war, but they're saying that they will support Niger in the endeavor. And you also have obviously Russia is in great support as to what's going on in Niger. this could escalate drastically. I'm very interested to see where Italy stands on this, because the newly elected, what's her name? She's a woman that a lot of the Italians seem to love, per se, because she's saying the things that they want to hear. And one of the things that she did, she criticized, France's colonial attitude and blames France, rightfully so, for why there's so many Africans leaving their home country to come to Europe. And she's saying that if you want to stop African illegal immigration happening in Europe, you need to stop European countries for continuing to exploit these countries. And one example that she made was France. I'm curious to see where Italy will stand in this situation. Will they side with France and Germany? And if they do, that means that that lady that was talking was a complete hypocrite. Or will she stand with Niger? And will she say that she will intervene the same way Mali and Burkina Faso and Algeria have declared that they will interfere and they will protect Niger from any foreign intervention that will happen? Listen. This is a very unstable situation that we're in right now with Niger. So many uncertainties. This can go terribly wrong if the right decisions aren't being made. And one of the most important decisions right now are the ones that Algeria, Mali, and Burkina Faso are demonstrating, and that is unity. Unity. You cannot ask your colonial fucking masters to let you go. It just does not happen. Ever. You have to fight for freedom. So, the other West African countries who have suffered by the hands of France and by the hands of Britain should not, by any means necessary, side with any of the European countries. I should not see, in tomorrow's news, Nigeria declares war on Niger. Because if Nigeria declares war on Niger, it confirms everything that these people, the politicians that are in that country, are all puppets. Realistically, Nigeria has nothing to gain from supporting France. I've thought about this. I've tried to find what angle could Nigeria have in benefiting, in supporting France, in taking out the military leader who took the country. There's nothing. It would benefit Nigeria way more to stand with Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso and said, yeah, we've had enough, because Nigeria is also suffering too. The company Shell is literally poisoning the rivers. The people there are suffering because of all the bullshit that Britain has left behind and are still incurring to this day. This is the pinnacle moment where all African countries need to stand by each other. Every single situation that's ever been happening on that continent can be traced back to the day they had an encounter with the European powers. And honestly, to go even further beyond, all you people that keep shouting and keep spamming, save Europe, the West has fallen, this is your opportunity to actually support Africans. Because if Africans are able to control their own resources and cut ties completely with France, Britain, Belgium, Germany, all those countries, and they are left to their own device to actually utilize their resources to finally bring their country up into prosperity, you will see less Africans in your actual continent. So right now, you should be chastising France for trying to intervene with Niger. You should be shouting, yelling, going to your, MPs and saying to the French government, whatever it is, well, let the Niger people do their thing. Let them do their thing, bro. Just let them do their fucking thing. Don't intervene. That's all I'm saying. It's a very dangerous situation, I'm gonna be honest with you. It could easily spire into World War III, if I'm being honest. But we have a slimmer of a chance, right, to finally take back what is rightfully ours and push these foreign invaders from our continent by standing together. Listen, one of the biggest ways that European countries were able to do what they did in Africa is because we were divided. We didn't have that unity. Now you need that unity. It is more imperative than ever before to stand together.